Hello, I'm Brian, and I'll be answering the Cyber 102 prompt one. So for this, let's see. So Jermaine, you had a question about, yeah, so what was your question? Do you mind raising your hands or typing it in the chat? Okay. So I was wondering about the NIST framework and especially two areas about the NIST framework and how they correspond to cybersecurity. I wanted to know like what teams were under it and sort of like the challenges that each one faces. So I'm not really sure of like the specifics to this challenge. I know we did cover it like on the coursework itself. So specifically, can't really attest to that. It's really specific about the question you're answering, which is really nice. I like how you want to get into depth. So let's actually look at the past course materials. So I'll be sharing my screen and then we can follow along to, I believe it's week 2 in which we talked about sort of like the NIST framework. So we can take a look at it together, and then we can also research like sort of the areas that correspond to it. Having worked before with a government organization where I did some volunteering, we actually did work with the NIST in order to like qualify for that. So I can offer like some advice and guidance there, which is pretty cool. So I'm looking at here week 2. So you can see my screen, right? Okay, sweet. So we have here the next framework. We have protect and govern. So we can start with those two for now since they seem like pretty simple. Let's see. I see some associated teams. So let's first start off with like the main idea of what they want to do, especially with Protect, where they give like kind of like defenders, like blue team defenders. Kind of looking that way. So we can actually search up like what job opportunities like fall under like this role. So maybe we can get like more of a deal like what these people do under these categories. Because especially with these frameworks, they want to kind of make it simple and like map to everything. So let's actually look at the NIST. Not sure if you know, but there's like a NIST.gov that you can look at in which they actually like the people who founded the NIST framework themselves. So we can go more into that as well. And yeah, let's dive into it. So that is prompt 1, and then I'll be heading into prompt 2 now with the breakout session with 5 students in the room. All right, so join the breakout room. Okay. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Feel free to give me a thumbs up real quick or just say in the chat if you guys can hear me. Okay, sweet. I'm seeing you guys out live, but I'm not seeing any cameras or any talking going on. No worries. I'm just gonna introduce myself first. So, hello, I'm Brian Dos Santos. I go to John Jay College, and I'm currently studying computer science and information security. Really interested in cybersecurity, especially like the offensive side. I do a lot of CTFs and I'm involved in like various clubs and stuff. So I just love like the ethical hacking side and like the creativity that comes with it. It's gonna be a little cheesy, but I'm gonna have everyone introduce themselves. Feel free to turn your cameras on and just tell us about your name, your major, where you go to school. We saw some people in the east, some people in the west. It might be 8 p.m. for you, but maybe 4 p.m. for someone else, which is pretty cool. Gotta love CodePath and their global reach. And let's do sort of your favorite snack too. I would say my favorite snack is definitely, actually, not thinking about it. What would it be? I'll see your answers first. So let's first start off with Justin. Justin, you'll be my first victim, and then we'll do a popcorn actually. So, when you're done, you just like call the next person that you see on your screen, and then we'll get to everyone then. So yeah, Justin, feel free to turn your camera on, turn your mic, and let's hear that awesome voice. Cool, cool. Sure, say snack. Sour cream and onion chips. Ah, that's a good one. Yeah, I love sour cream and onion, especially the Ruffles. What's everyone's favorite brand of sour cream and onions? I gotta know. I gotta know. Okay. Nice. I like Pringles. Ah, I love Pringles too. Nice. Let's head on. So you pick Stephanie next. So Stephanie, if you could turn your camera on, let's get going. Okay, now it's prompt 2. And now I'll be going on to prompts. The technical prompt, which is up to 7 minutes. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen just to show the prompt for sort of easier navigation. Okay, so the technical prompt that we have is unable to access github.com. Let me make sure I share your screen. GitHub Arisha cannot resolve github.com. So I actually had this problem with like not GitHub, but like over the wire war games. So whatever this issue was, it's because some resources were either blocking it, either through like a proxy or maybe like a firewall or some sort of nature. So the first thing I like to do, especially with these errors, is kind of like dive right into it. Especially with this common error, just not resolving a host. There's so many people that go through it. So kind of my first step is just like a simple Google search of seeing what other people have dealt with. So first things first, we have Stack Overflow. Then we have GitHub as well, which is pretty good. So what I like to do too, I don't want to try the like solution off the bat. So I'm gonna pick three like separate websites. So I'm gonna pick Stack Overflow, GitHub, then Code Academy. We have three prominent developer platforms. Now we can compare and contrast sort of the techniques used to see if we see everything in common, anything collaborating. And then from there we can kind of hone down on the solution. So first things first, we actually have like the same exact issue, and then we have the specific repo. So I'm just gonna read more into it. Create remote client, sorry, on clothing, and they get the same exact issue. Command I'm using. This first is talking about proxy settings, so I might have to deal with that. So it looks like this person got a similar error, and then they fixed it by incorrect proxy setting. So by doing these commands, you're able to fix it. Once using HTTP, once using HTTPS. For our situation, we had to deal with HTTPS. So I'm just going to save this here, sort of in my notepad, so that way we know. And with 423 like upvotes, we can be pretty confident that this solution works and it is like a good solution to look for, but I'm just going to look at the other sites just in case. So we saw reconnecting Wi-Fi also works. This is worth trying even if you haven't tried the proxy setting. So that's good to know. Looks like this was marked at the upright solution as well. Okay, so we actually have a syncing with GitHub as well. So this article could be pretty useful. Or it looks like it posted another Stack Overflow. Interesting. So this page is really detailed. So I'm actually gonna like save this. All right, so I can look at it and let's see what this original question was. Okay. Checking out should I trace it? I'm gonna say DC for now, and I'm just gonna look on other sites as well to see if we can find the same information. If we have the same error, can I resolve hosting? Host, github.com. And we see proxy server here, so we're seeing like the main issue is proxy. And we're seeing sort of the same command as well. I'm just gonna control and then control F to see if I'm right. And yeah, looks like the same exact like sort of solution work for everyone. And we can see in this scenario that there's a lot of emojis here, so we can see like the fix work for multiple people as well. Yep, same ones here. Firewall rule. Also other options that we could try here. Okay. So actually this person can ping GitHub, which is pretty interesting, but they aren't able to resolve the host. But that should be pretty normal. They can reach the server, but they can't communicate with it because of a certain rule. Okay. So it looks like they did try some other solutions. So I think this person had a DNS reset. So this is like a pretty interesting solution that we might need because it may not be in the case that we actually have to I guess I have to change our proxy settings. So what I'm gonna do first is I would go about like first doing these like problems first. I was first start off with like the most upvoted answers. So these I'll try these solutions first. I'll try the HTTPS version since we're already using HTTPS. There's no point in doing this since we're only doing HTTP. Then if that doesn't work, I'll go and follow this solution. From there, if that is not detailed enough and doesn't do anything, I'll go to this because it seems a little more concise and to the point. Afterwards, I'll try the methods here as well. Seems like it's the same exact thing, so I wouldn't even need to go here. And if these three solutions wouldn't work, I'll then go and flush my DNS. That's kind of how I would tackle it as well. And if anything as well, we could also go to ChatGPT to offer some troubleshooting advice, as well as we can input this sort of error code and then just explain the situation that we're going on since everyone's situation is different. So depending on my machine, that would be a great way to integrate that as well. And yeah, thank you so much.